apparently I've been living in two bubbles my whole life. A, that everyone in the single world loves chunky peanut butter. And B, that you either love or hate the dentist. Put it in the polls, Avery. Does everyone either love or hate the dentist? You got that?
Yeah.
Sweet. Aaron, what's your answer to the question?
Gotta go smooth. It's ideal for like.
This
if
is
you want
disappointing.
A nice PB&J, you know.
What makes
Right.
chunky not nice?
It's not.
Doesn't
it's not
s- it doesn't
nice.
spread.
I guess I'm more used to smooth
Neutral.
as well.
Neutral.
Aaron, let me give you a bit of advice. You know, I don't know how you do things. What's your last name?
Pig.
Pig?
It's like.
Pig.
It's like cake.
Pig.
But with a
Pig. Okay.
like okay,
I-
not the O.
Pig.
No.
With a K.
Pig.
Like cake.
Like
Oh,
cake.
so
With
not
a P.
opaque. It'd be more like
Opaque.
opaque.
Opaque. You don't know.
Opaque is not a word.
Yes, it is.
It's
Yes, it is.
opaque.
We are. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Am I
Opaque?
actually?
It's not mean.
Nuh-uh.
It's opaque.
3 bubbles have
Oh
been
my gosh. The
shattered.
bubbles are bursting.
Hold on. Stop. You guys are actually. You're not messing with me right
I'm
now.
Look it up.
It's
Opaque
not
right now.
Look it
opaque
up.
with a G.
This is.
Pronounce
You know what?
it.
This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. Is
Yes.
OP.
Yeah, you're the fact checker.
OP. Oh God, this is where it gets sticky.
OPAQUE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
Q
That's
makes-
opaque.
Give me.
No.
There's no
Q.
G.
No.
There's
Give me-
no G.
wait.
Guys, I tell you, I've been taking art classes every single year of my entire educated life. And when we talk about things being translucent or opaque,
No.
I've been
Oh
saying
my
the
God.
latter. Am I going to get bullied if I keep saying it that
bad.
way?
So bad.
Do I need to change my ways?
How many times? How many times do you think a Q has ever made a G sound?
I didn't know there was a Q, Aiden. I thought it was a G.
Okay.
I've never seen the word
Opaque.
before.
Google. You can see it from here.
That's a-
OPAQUE.
Hit the like.
Hit
That's
the
nuts.
pronunciation.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Put it up to the mic.
Wait.
Opaque.
Ah, she hit it with a hard, she hit it with a hard K, bro. There's no going around
It's
that.
a Q though, not a K.
Q.
Yeah,
learn
but it
learn
makes the
to
hard K
pronounce.
sound.
There's a button called Learn to Pronounce. I think you might
I need
like this
someone that
button.
learned to pronounce my life. That's gnarly. All right,
Opaque.
I've learned 3 new
Opaque.
things today. Hey, we
So-
put on the polls. Is it pronounced opaque? Opaque. It could go either way.
Wow, the ice is really getting broken, and so are the bubbles.
Literally. So is my brain. I think I'm gonna need a mental health day after this one. Just so many big pillars of my life have been completely toppled today. Who are we on? Is it just me? Or wait, I was saying something. No, we're good.
You were asking
We're
the
good.
last name.
Yeah, I don't know why.
About
I think
something
I
about
was like, I don't know.
smooth.
Oh, I was teaching her a lesson. That's right. Because she said she likes smooth peanut butter because she's more familiar. And
Yeah.
Aaron, I don't know how you do it at the opaque household. But over here. Over here. We believe in trying new things, right?
Oh,
and
I
just
love
because
trying new things.
just because we're, familiar. Where's the cap room for growth, you know? Sometimes we gotta, like my dad always says, how do you know when a lobster's ready to grow? Anyone? Aiden?
How?
It gets uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And if that made you a little uncomfortable and I whispered in the mic, maybe it's time to grow. Grow up. Just a little lesson for the day. I don't know. Tanner's lessons. Is anyone gonna ask me my opinion on the whole thing?
I think we got your opinion.
Yeah, Tanner
I'm
has
gonna
been
have to
talking
go
enough
with
yet.
smooth peanut. No, I'm kidding. Without a doubt, chunky. I like the mix of creamy and bite to it. I think it's good on a sandwich. I think it's good on its lonesome. I think it's good on pretty much anything. There's not many things that putting peanut butter on would make worse. Speaking of, I had peanut butter and jelly wings the other day. Phenomenal.
Where?
Don't remember the place. It was in Columbus.
He's-
You got a wide variety.
He's making it up.
No.
Lying.
I did hear about that.
Cooked in it was a peanut butter sauce. So the sauce was peanut butter and then a jelly glaze.
Nice.
I don't know.
That's really cool.
Try it out. Try it
Sounds
out.
good.
If we know where it's from, then we can try it.
Just ask around.
Just Google it.
Tell them Tanner sent you.
And we're going to be highlighting prominent members of our community as well as showcasing current events and topics and also going on tangents about peanut butter occasionally and just having fun.
was good.
A lot of peanut butter stuff.
Yeah,
This
we
podcast.
we can
kind
pretty
of the
much
main. I
ensure.
thought it was like the main
we
subject.
can
was
pretty
peanut
much
butter.
ensure there will be peanut butter
This is a peanut butter
every week.
podcast.
This is the peanut butter
Let's change
cup
names.
podcast.
Welcome back to the peanut butter podcast.
Maybe we
Jake,
could just call it the PB podcast.
Jake, why don't you hit him with the PBPC?
PB.
Where's the C? What's the
The
C?
cast part? I don't know. Podcast, is that one word? Put it on the polls.
PBPC.
Jake, do you want to give him a breakdown of a few of our goals here at the family?
It's just the goals
What are our
overall.
goals? What are the goals of the show? What do we want to do here? Just pretend you have memorized. They can all see it.
Memorized.
You ain't slick.
Well, I can't see anyway.
Oh
so-
yeah, no chance he can read.
One-eyed.
We've been calling him One-Eyed Smitty
Nice.
because he actually did lose a contact this morning, and he is legally blind.
Yeah, but he's acting like no-eyed Smitty right now. My understanding is one of them still works.
Okay. All right. So wait, do you wear
Just cover one eye.
do you wear contacts?
No, I have glasses on. You can see him right now.
Yeah. It's hard to see with with
I guess
one
you
eye.
could say
I'll
his
leave that.
vision's a little opaque.
Yeah, opaque. Yeah.
It's a little blurry. That I use that in the right sense, right? I don't know. Who cares?
Goals.
Please.
All right. So
what we were trying to get at.
Ooh, we're all
Whoa.
sassy.
Take a step back.
Feisty.
Oh man.
Wow.
I
a
love
little
how I was able to sass him twice, and she did it once, and everyone got on her about it.
That's what the show's about. That, those are our founding principles.
We just
peanut butter and sass. That's basically it.
Ooh, I like
Ooh.
Peanut butter and sass.
T-shirt. Or
it's actually sick.
That's pretty
great name.
sweet. Well, goals I feel like just overall with the podcast is just trying to have interesting guests. We're gonna have like guest members and like people just doing really good things in the community, and also having like some fun with it, like having random topics. We talk about like peanut butter and sass. Like that could be just like a daily thing. Peanut butter and sass. I'm trying to see how many times I can say it in a sentence.
Hopefully, no more times.
To get your quota.
Yeah, we're pretty much
Sassed
we're
out.
pretty much trying to show highlight the best parts or our favorite parts about Columbus and what makes the city so special and why we love this place, and also
And youth specifically, I should point out.
and young,
Youth.
not like young
Not like
young ones,
old
young
people.
ones.
Mhm.
We're all young adults here. We're basically trying to highlight change makers in the area while also having fun with us being able to make some change. Yeah, let's hear it.
So you guys are all high school students, some
Graduates.
Graduated.
Graduates.
Yeah, graduates, right? Well, and yeah, that could even more important now. You're going to be moving on to the college experience, where things can get stressful, and managing your time can become more difficult for some people. So up to this point, what would you say had been like some of the primary stressors in your life that you've had to overcome?
Jake.
Yeah. I would say a lot of it would be definitely the college process for sure. That's very stressful, especially like you don't know if like you're gonna be on campus with like just everything going on, and also just I don't know, caring at the end of the year for senior year. It's really I don't know. I've never really cared less.
Senioritis is
Yes.
so real.
It's like times 10.
I
right
thought
now.
when I was a junior, I was like, junioritis. I
hate high school.
and then I wasn't on time to a single day of
Yeah,
my
I don't think
senior
you actually made it on time. More
Well, I
than 10
definitely
times.
made it in the building most of the days. I was never, and I say never strongly, in that first period class before that bell rang.
No.
And
Were there
I stopped waiting
repercussions?
for you.
Were there repercussions for
not a
this?
single one, Aiden. Not a single I don't want to pronounce it because I know that I'm going to get flamed again because I say it wrong.
That's a solid
Because
choice.
let's be honest, up until a few days ago or a few months, I was saying repercussions.
Repercussions.
So
Repercussions.
I'm just throwing it out there for content. It makes me look stupid, but repercussions. So what should I say what I'm and then
Well,
or should
maybe
he talk about how he?
Continue with what you're saying about.
Yeah,
why
I just
was-
say just in general with like doing all your work and trying to get everything. Obviously, like especially after that last quarter, not really much matters grade wise, but like I just have a really guilty conscience, like not do my stuff, and also just the stress of completely changing the way my life is after 12 years, like doing the same thing, being told what to do, and now at this point I'm like I have to try to make my own decisions. So that's got definitely really stressful on my part.
Do you
for
feel
sure.
like your stress is more put on by yourself and how hard you are on yourself when you're trying to, stay mentally active and trying to hold yourself to a higher standard when it comes to your education and having no motivation? Or do you think it's outside forces? Because you're really hard on yourself a lot of times. And
That is true.
is that what you think it's more most of the stress is coming from?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely like outside things happen, but like I'm definitely more hard on myself than anybody can ever be. So yeah, definitely not feeling productive on that part, and like me just feeling like I'm not doing Definitely So that definitely helps.
Definitely.
Definitely. Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely. Definitely.
Don't mess up. Don't mess up. We'll make fun of you.
No, that's not what we want to
I'm only
promote.
one-eyed Smitty. I don't think that it goes lower than that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
My keys in my pocket. They're gonna keep jangling. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
That was centimeters away from obliterating that camera.
And Aaron.
And Aaron.
We almost lost a crew member.
Not a crew member.
The crew member.
Crew member.
The only one that's here.
The only one that's here. What are some things that stress you out? They really hold on. Grind your gears. Make
I
you feel the
grind my
pressure.
gears. So I did online academy my senior year, meaning I did not go into the building at all. I was all on my own to do schoolwork, and of course that makes senioritis 10 times worse.
Was that your choice? If you don't,
I did. I chose to do online academy with the COVID stuff, and I also wanted the opportunity to like work more during the day and save money for college. So that was my thought process, and then
does not seem.
I got into it, and I realized I cannot teach myself. I cannot learn on my own, and I really struggled. I struggled to stay motivated, and so I'm going to Columbus State next year, and I found
Go
out
Cougs.
that, yes, go Cougars.
Go Cougs.
They're only planning on doing like 25% in-person classes at this point.
Dang, I didn't know that.
So it's like same process is repeating, and I'm going to have to adjust and figure out how to keep myself on track while also trying to figure out what I want to do with my life and where I'm headed. So.
Do you think that that you did it beforehand and it's going to be like at least a little easier to adjust to like that, or do you think you benefited at all from having to like teach yourself on that kind of part, and like it will help for next year?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm more prepared for next year to like have to teach myself on my own, but if I could go back, I probably would have not chose to do the online option.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like, I don't know, I kind of let myself down. But it's life. We're learning. We're
Truth.
growing. We're lobsters and we're growing.
Full circle. So,
Can you trademark that?
is that stress? Same question that I asked Jake. Is that stress put on by yourself, or are there outside forces that are making you feel the burn, if you will, or
Feel the burn.
or comparing your experience with other people and what they're doing with their education? Like, does that get tough, or like especially when you're not in school, and were most of your friends in person, like back,
Yeah.
like that would be really hard. I feel like to watch. Because going to school, like, I mean, the best part, I feel like, for me personally, is the social aspect, obviously. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
and
and
you're
I-
a very social person, too.
I didn't take that into consideration. I felt lonely a lot of the
Aw.
days. And it was hard to see my friends in school. But I definitely do think the stress is put on by myself and me, like, comparing my experience to other people and, like, the, I guess, fear of missing out. Yeah, definitely was on me.
Yeah.
So what do you think how would you solve that stress? Like you mentioned saying that we're all learning, like we got to learn from these experiences. So what are ways you could learn from this experience? Because unlike, some of us, like you're actually going to need to be able to learn how to adapt because of how your classes are. Like thankfully I'm lucky to be going to school that's in person, but like I can't imagine like what are some ways that you think you're going to be able to adapt into continuing to be in a format that's not always the best for you personally when it comes to learning?
Right. I think I'm going to definitely have to rely on others around me more and find motivation through them and really learn about the ways I learn best in order to, like, actually stay on top of my work and things like that.
Yeah. So, sounds like.
Well, yeah. I was just gonna ask, like, for you, like, do you think? Well, I know you. Well, you just have like a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
You have a lot of things going on in general on top
I'm a
of school.
basket case.
You just have a lot of projects that's
Yeah.
going on. So I was wondering, like, if that's like kind of the stress that
See,
you get to.
That's where I think the misconception might be, and that's a really good question. I like you phrase it that way because I'm a very busy guy, and I could be busier. My dad's watching right now, being like, get a job." I'm a very busy guy.
You got a job.
But yeah, I do have a job, but I could work more. But when I get stressed out, and I'll start by saying my stress probably comes from. I mean, it's easy to say it comes from other people, but at the end of the day, I feel like we all have some range of responsibility on how we deal with our emotions and how we react to other people. So even just because there's outside forces doesn't mean that all our forces are down and we can't deal with those things still.
Yeah.
So I'd say personally, like, it is on myself, and that, like, I do get stressed out when I think about, like, I've been lucky enough to have a career where I've kind of known that I want to do films, I want to do filmmaking, and I've known that since, ever. So luckily that's not where my stress comes from. Mine more comes from probably feeling like I'm not being productive enough, or feeling like I need to succeed, or that I need to have this goal point, that I need to be well known, or this, like, have my foot in the door. Not necessarily because I want fame, but mainly because in the industry I'm going into, you need to have some sort of credentials and some sort of name to get anywhere. So, like, I feel like being my age of being 18, like, when I turned 18 as an adult, there was so much more I wish I could have done before. Because you can't be like, oh, I'm a kid in the industry anymore. Like, you're 18, like, you're officially an adult, and you're just at the same place as everyone else. You don't have a chip on your shoulder anymore. And it was easy for me to grovel and get down on myself and be like, oh, I missed my opportunity, I missed my chance if anything was going to happen, what happened before now. Especially when you see, like, child stars out there, or filmmakers that are younger. But we just can't compare our situations, and if it's going to happen, it's going to happen naturally. And so the ways I deal with that are by staying busy and by grinding. And so a lot of outside people look at it and see that, like, when we filmed a short film every day for 7 days while going to school right before,
You were distracted, yeah.
that was nuts, but I loved every second of it. And it just confirmed how I love what I do and I want to continue what I do, and how staying busy, I think, is a very positive way to deter some of that stress and to create, like, it challenges you to, like, how many times did we have a situation that popped up and we're able just to problem solve and build off each other and suggest, like, being in that environment.
I mean, it felt good when you did too, because
for
you're
sure.
like, oh, this could be really bad. Like, this could, like, mess up the whole day. And then it's like, oh, figure it out.
And
Sweet.
that, like, something I always say, which a lot of filmmakers say, is that the worst day on set is the best day anywhere else. So, and that's just me personally, and that's what I think is something that can go for anyone in their passions. That the worst day doing what you love is the best day when you're doing something else. So, for me personally, when I get stressed out, I try to go to my passion, try to make myself as busy as possible, not to distract myself, but to work on myself and to give me time to recoup.
So for some people, busy works. Busy
Right.
is your way of coping, but then others, I think they need to take a step back because busy
overwhelmed.
is
Yeah.
their stressor.
And I think
Yeah,
some
that's
people genuinely stay busy, but then use it as a backslide and say, oh, I can't, I'm busy. Like, I know people that don't need to be as busy as they are, which but, like, they do a lot to stay busy, and they are doing a lot of extracurriculars, but it might be a way that they stress to cope, but it's also a way that they can excuse behavior, or a way that they can get out of doing the little things.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's something
They can
that I can be
excuse,
guilty
yeah.
of doing too, is I'm so busy I can't, like, reach out and text, or I can't do this. Like, no one's too busy for that. We can all.
To do the small things.
Right, for
Because those
sure.
mean the most, obviously, especially the people that are there for you. But, yeah.
So you guys, you're fortunate to both have a support system that you guys are mentioning now, and also activities and, like, things that you're passionate about. So for people listening or watching this who maybe don't feel like they have one or both of those things, what advice do you have on, and because you guys might have to be doing this again soon with as you move on to the next chapter of life, what recommendations would you have for A, building a good support system, and B, finding an activity or something that can help you de-stress, and even like if there are any plans that you have to try new activities or like, try something new.
Yeah. I think personally, especially like especially before this year, like I never had like good friends and that kind of thing, and like to build that, I personally would just get uncomfortable, honestly, because I feel like those comfortable spaces make you be complacent a lot of the time. So I feel like to get into another area where like I might not usually like go out and do this kind of stuff, but like to just like go and connect with people, and also on the part of just like a self thing, I would also suggest exercise. Like for me, a lot, like I feel like that's something that everybody can like at least like it's not like you don't need weights or you don't anything like that. Like even just a walk or like run, like how Hannah was saying, like it helps a lot, and that is actually the number one de-stressor. That like it's an overall thing. And I feel like it's very
Source?
Yeah.
No, what's the source for that? I'm just
Well,
playing.
the source-
I believe you.
Yeah.
Actually,
One-eyed Smitty is like, this
I'm the
is
source.
number one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have. I can't go for walks from Starboard to. It's only like 100 feet. So
Port to starboard.
More
I know
of a-
your
yeah.
I know your reference.
more
No,
of
you
a
know,
weights guy.
you know the days walking the
Yeah.
plank and stuff.
Right. Walking the plank.
Someone has to.
But that's why I'm here,
That's better.
because I got,
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, there aren't a lot of activities, so I highly recommend exercise if it's just hundreds of miles of ocean surrounding you in either
swim.
direction.
I swim a lot. You
Love
you
pull-ups.
lie. You told
Yeah.
me you can't swim.
Lot of
Yeah,
pull-ups.
Tanner's out here making movies. Gotta be honest, we don't have the resources for that on
I
the
can
boat.
stay aflow.
No.
Okay, I can do one here.
One-eyed
That's okay. I
Smitty.
can't swim either.
One-eyed
Just-
Smitty is an amazing swimmer.
Yes. Anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're all good. That was pretty good. Pretty good little point. But no, I would definitely think exercise. Definitely, whether I'm angry, sad, happy, all those kind of things, exercise always really helps, like boost in a positive way for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would definitely say that. You got to?
Yeah.
Actually, to that point, I started out in therapy and then decided that exercise worked better for me.
Yeah.
So,
Gains.
Yes.
Them cycling.
I'm gonna know when you pull up with tries bigger than the moon.
What's
Bet you've
what's
been
your
stressing.
what's your go-to? Like I mean, there's like I know there's cardio, but there's also like
walking, brother. Walking.
She's like,
oh, if you
already
walk
said
like this,
that.
if you walk like this,
Yeah, she's gonna burn a ton of calories that way, just going like just the most rigid walking form.
Have you seen those people with like you see those people with like with the Fitbits Apple Watches and that it does the steps, but they just do this? Like,
My
doesn't that
dad
defeat-
does that.
Doesn't that
He'll
just
sit
defeat
on the
purpose?
couch playing solitaire, and then he'll take his Fitbit and he'll just be like this, shaking it. I'm like, that defeats
This
the
defeats
whole
purpose.
point.
Like you're just so
You're
like
just
happy that you
sitting
did
there.
it. Yeah.
Oh, I
great.
just yawned. It looks like I'm a tear. Can you guys see it? Looks like I'm crying.
Tanner's
Aw,
crying. Tanner's
it's okay
crying.
to not be okay, Tanner.
I guess that leads me to my coping mechanism.
Crying.
I'd probably say I'm a bottler, if you will. There's a lot of bottlers in the world, you know. I think Aiden's probably a bottler. When
I would, yeah. I find that, like, I don't know if this is just me, but, like, I feel like I don't realize I'm doing it until after the fact.
No, I agree.
I mean,
It's a
oh my-
retrospective thing almost all the time.
I've seen stressed Aiden, and it's one of my favorite things in the world
What?
because it is
That is so bad.
it is so miserable to him, and so entertaining to everyone else.
I don't know what you're...
You're not a very good
When
friend.
you're stressed, no.
Are.
I help him and like I'm there for him and I'll like talk to him. But it's not like ever anything like that's actually wrong. Like he doesn't let things really bother him that are a big deal, but small things that bother him are quite funny. And if it was something serious, I don't know. I tend to. That's how I kind of deal with it when I have a lot going on. Unlike Aiden, I probably know I'm getting a little stressed out, and I could probably sense it. So because of that, I genuinely don't talk about it, or I'll just deter it and ask other people if they're okay. You know, which I don't know if there's a thing going on there.
Yeah, I find every time I ask if you're okay, you never give a direct answer. And then you ask me, hey, are you okay? Let's talk about you.
He just says,
I'm gonna-
"Eh."
He does.
Yeah, I
you
deter
do.
it.
You do that. Like if you're stressed and like you're like sweating, like you You sweat when you're stressed.
I don't like.
You do.
I like talking, honestly, but I don't like talking about like myself or real stuff, just because
Can't
it's
do
very
it.
toxic.
You
But
ask
pretty.
him if he's okay, he's just gonna say, neutral.
Yeah.
Neutral.
I don't know if I've ever said no. I could be.
No,
fuming.
you always say, "Yeah,
No,
I'm,
you
I'm
have
great."
said, yeah.
I'm
I've said it
perfectly
sarcastically,
good.
probably
Yeah.
quite a few times.
I feel like you have said like when you were like really mad. I feel like you have said no, I'm not okay. But like you're either all the way here or all the way like
I'm
no
kind of like
neutral.
like peanut butter or the dentist. You know.
Neutral.
I hate it.
Yeah, either chunky or smooth.
I have
Only one answer, two answers.
Don't know if that applies
I
to
have-
the dentist.
What if you eat too much? What?
I don't want to go to this
So, yeah,
medicine.
I-
It needs to be
I-
chunky.
I'd said to bottle up, and ways I deal with that are probably when I can have alone time, and then I'm ready to talk about it. And if someone's really forcing me to talk about it, I might seem like I'm not interested, but it's just nice to know that people
You need
care.
time to gather your thoughts and clear your head
Right.
on your own.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely try to get my own space first.
Yeah.
Like if it's my own problems, I'm normally super reserved. If it's other people's problems, and I'm like, I feel like I have to defend people, I get pretty confrontational.
Yes.
But that's a
If
different
it is other people's problems, like I feel like you deal with other people's problems, like a lot more.
That could be a way
Yeah.
That's his coping.
cope.
And you're coping.
Coping or schmoping. That's what I always say.
Is that what you said?
I'm no
That's what you
schmooper.
always say. I have something that works for me is I make an imaginary graph, and on one side of my graph or column, I guess, I have my issues and then other people's issues, and I really think about what can I change, what do I have the ability to change, and then I process that, and then I think about what I have no impact on, like I cannot change the situation, and if it's not my issue, I can support people from afar, but I have to focus on myself, and that's how I work through things.
I love that.
I'm gonna
Imaginary
write that down.
graph.
Feels like-
I'm gonna write that
Love
down.
that.
What kind of graph?
It's a Venn diagram.
This one, Avery.
No, it's a Venn
That's a
diagram.
T-chart. That's a
T-chart.
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 That's
Yeah,
really not what
yeah,
it's
yeah.
called, but that's
So
elementary
you don't,
school right there.
So you
That's what I
don't make
learned.
a T-chart, you make an imaginary T-chart.
Well, at first, I actually learned this from my therapist. I recommend
Shout out.
therapy,
But then
at first I started drawing it out, but now I can do it without drawing it. I just draw it in my head.
She's just there. She's just there.
I do not do good, like,
No, I cannot. Yeah.
mentally doing. Like, I used to have dreams as a kid. Like, you ever try to control your dreams?
You
I used to
don't
have dreams where,
I
like, I
had
was on a
these
slide, and I would try to
lucid
force
dreams.
myself to jump off the slide, and every time I jumped off, I landed on another part of the slide. Or, like, when I'm reading a book, this is just probably severe ADHD, but when I would, like, read a book and you try to imagine it, and I imagine it wrong, and then I try to correct it, and it keeps, I fight my own brain when I read things. I don't know.
Okay.
Is that just me?
Yeah.
I know what you
So
mean.
mindfulness.
Things sometimes. Like
I-
with books.
Yeah, I don't have very good. I don't know. But to your point, I think it's really cool and to acknowledge in that almost all of our stress comes from things that we can't control. And I say this so much. And Marina, if you're watching this, I say this so much. That if we can focus on, like when we get stressed out or in any situation ever, if we just think, what can we control? Like what actually can make a difference here? And first off, and then like I said earlier, that's to come full circle. The first thing you can control is how you react to things, and how if you are more mindful or calm or analytical, and you can control the way you react, then controlling the situation is going to be a lot easier. Because most of the times you can't control the situation,
Right.
so you might as well control your face.
You gonna drop it? Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Not do that.